If you've ever been driven crazy by an inefficient way of working, and who hasn't, you'll love this. Here's how SharePoint workflows can make approvals and feedback easier for everyone.
To make sure that we get the approval we need from the people we need it from for that proposal, we're going to set up what is called a workflow, a sequence of connected steps that automate the approval process. To do this, I'm going to be in the list that we want to affect here because it's got our document, the Beijing proposal. I'm going to select this because it actually activates my menu here, and I'm going to go to the library and choose the workflow settings way down here in the settings area. Now this is going to allow me to add a workflow, but I want to make sure that I'm setting up a document workflow here. Then I'm going to add that workflow. And an approval workflow, we're going to select that, and we're going to call this the Beijing approval workflow. We're going to go ahead and have it create a brand new task list so we're not filling up our current task list, and we're going to go ahead and let it create its own workflow history. At this point, I'm going to leave everything else at default and click Next. I'm going to assign this task to different people. I have two options for this, one at a time, serial, which means in a row, or I can do this all at once, parallel. That would mean that they all received tasks at the same time. But we want them to do it one at a time, and we're only going to do it with two people. We're going to do it with Sanjay Shah and Jeff Hay. The due date for all of these tasks is Monday the 18th. Now that we've got our people set up, we can go ahead and click Save. That workflow has been added. Now we want to go back to our list. Under our shared documents, we can go ahead and select our document. Notice that we have workflows here, and we're going to manually start our workflow. So we're going to select it, we're going to choose the Beijing approval, and we're going to click Start. Now that we started the workflow, a column has been added for our Beijing approval workflow. Next to our document, it says In Progress. If we click In Progress, we get what is referred to as a workflow visualization. And this tells me that no one here has actually completed their currently assigned tasks, which is to approve the document. So we're going to go ahead and go back to our Shared Documents folder, and let's go over and take a look at Sanjay's folder. What's really cool about this is that Sanjay doesn't have to be inside of our team site to go ahead and approve this document. He's just going to receive an email that simply allows him to complete the task. Selecting it, he's given the option of opening this task, at which point he opens the task, and here he can see that the approval was actually started by Eric. And he, Sanjay, has been asked to go ahead and approve this document. He could add any comments or request changes for that document. He could, in fact, reassign the task, or he could reject it altogether. But we're going to keep this pretty simple, and we're going to go ahead and approve this document. Now that we've seen Sanjay approve this document, and I can tell you that Jeff has gone ahead and done the same thing, let me prove it to you. Back here at our workflow visualization, we see that Sanjay and Jeff both have green check marks on them. That means that our document has been approved. Back at our Shared Documents folder, if we select the checkbox next to Beijing Proposal, the Documents ribbon comes open and we can check Workflows. This allows us to verify that the completed workflows contains the Beijing Approval, which was the name of our workflow. That means that this document has been approved by all these different people with tasks via email by you setting up a workflow here in your SharePoint site. Finally, the last place to look for verification of your completed workflow is your own Outlook folder. Here we see we have two emails, one for the approval starting on Beijing Proposal and a completion email for the completed approval with listed completion times and dates in the email. So that's how workflows can get you the approval you need.